Apocalyptic? What does the Bible say about the next solar eclipse on April 8th? Yet will happen to the water. They are in a state of emergency. And whenever there is a solar eclipse like this, in the last few hours, it has gone very viral. What the Bible says about eclipses, and some have mentioned, it relates to the apocalypse, meaning the end of times. I'm going to give you the complete information. It's important to be clear. The themes is they've always caught people's attention and have been linked with religions, legends, and myths. There are, for example, people who believe that when an eclipse occurs, bad things happen. Pregnant should not watch an eclipse, or that animals behave in a very disturbing way. Others, however, that an eclipse opens a portal to another dimension that connects with other worlds, some more. That an eclipse serves as the end of one era and the beginning of a new cycle. In these contexts, on social media, it's claimed that the Bible mentions something about the upcoming eclipse. But is this true? Good. It has to do with a note that has become very famous about the importance of the song. Half a millennium ago. Tonight, passages from the Bible that speak as all's dead. What does the Bible say? At one point it mentioned, the stars in the sky and their constellations will not show their light. Your bosom darkens, and the moon will not give its light another sign. When you extinguish covering the sun with a cloud, and the moon will not give its light. Another part indicates the sky shudders, and the sun and the moon darkens, and the stars no longer shine. The sun will turn to darkness, and the moon into blood, before the great and terrible day of the Lord. There are two other messages. First it says, the sun and the moon will darken, and the stars will no longer shine. And lastly, I will make the shadow that has descended on the stairs of Akash go back 10 steps. Many of these messages give a lot to think about. But as the very millennium media explains, and on these the experts agree, interpreting the Bible is something subjective, and sometimes there are more symbols and very concrete things. All this would have to do with a spiritual matter of reflection. And it was about making things clear. Just thinking on the era in the past, people do not know much about the eclipses. Nowadays we already know a lot, that an eclipse really occurs when the Earth, the Moon, and the Sun align in space. And a total solar eclipse is when the Moon aligns with the Earth, Monday, blocks sunlight to Earth. So if we realize that there's no exact reference to the apocalypse, it's all interpretation. I repeat, scientifically, eclipses simply, they occur due to the movement of our planet. Just that and nothing more. But there are people who believe there might be something more spiritual, something from other dimensions, from other worlds, or even some bad luck. Experts say eclipses are incredible phenomena, and one should simply enjoy them. All that and nothing more. However, it's true that the Niagara Falls went into a state of emergency due to the solar eclipse. But this was because thousands of visits were expected to see the eclipse and the state of emergency CDA to ensure everyone's safety. And it is that, according to the government, the eclipse will bring the biggest increase in tourists in a single day in a history place. And so they are in a state of emergency to protect everyone from any eventuality. How often does a solar eclipse occur? Eclipses repeat themselves, simply, on average, every 300, every 400 years, sometimes less, sometimes more. That's why for that region of Mexico, the United States, and Canada, this eclipse is so significant because there won't be another like it for 300 to 400 years. Now that you know the truth, tell me what you think. Leave me your reflection. I want to know it.